Hello, beautiful spirits. I am sorting and folding laundry, so you can join me and I will tell you some entertaining, hopefully, uh, ghost-esque stories and experiences that I have had. So when I was younger, me and a group of my best friends at the time, I think I was like 16, 17, somewhere around there. And we had this community center that we would go to my one friend's home, which I will leave names out just in case they don't want to be said on here. And it was like the main home we would all hang out with, or hang out in. Because she had this whole basement downstairs that we could all just hang out in. And we had gone to the community center, which was also right next to her house, which is another reason why we also all went to her house. And we would go and hang out there. And one night we were walking back. It was like a group of 5 of us. We were walking back from the community center because they had closed. And her house, I'm not kidding, was just a couple blocks away. So it wasn't that big of a deal. And we were in a group. And as we were walking back, we kept getting this eerie feeling like we were kind of like being followed. And we were getting really uncomfortable. And I had told the group, because I've always been spiritually inclined. I've always been very aware of ghosts and spirits, and I've been able to sense things and all this other stuff since I was little. And I told them, I said, yeah, I'm picking up on a couple ghosts, like a couple spirits are following us. I'm like, some of them don't feel right. And even they had picked it up before I said it, that something felt very off, like we were being almost stalked, but we couldn't see anybody. And then as we kept walking down this one road, the lights, as we were walking, kept flickering. And it's like the big, overhead lights. They kept flickering as we kept walking. And the more we kept walking, the more it started flickering. And we started really getting spooked out because we're like, something's off here. Something's not right. And we started walking a little bit faster. And in my head, they don't know I did this, but in my head, I started casting like a spiritual protection bubble around each one of us. Just having the light come down onto each person, and then it created so it wasn't drawing energy from me. Although I was exhausted because it takes a lot when you're that young and you're not as experienced shielding other people. It takes a lot of energy. So I was doing that. And as soon as I shielded them and myself, the lights started going off and no longer flickering as we were walking, and the wind picked up. It was like whatever there was pissed. And we felt it even after I put the shield up, and we all booked it and ran. The wind was still picked up, and it wasn't until we about reached her house that the wind stopped and the lights stopped flickering. So that was pretty intense, what we all went through. It was just crazy. I've never, I've experienced light flickering and stuff, but that was a whole different level. I don't know what was following us. I didn't bother tapping in. I just felt something, and it was not good. It felt like it was trying to follow us into something, or I don't even know. I don't care, don't want to know, won't go back to figuring out what that was. But, so yeah, that was, and then the rest of the night was pretty good. We didn't have any other issues. I know that specific friend's basement was always really creepy. It was the kind that, even though it looked good in the light and all of this other stuff, it gave you that feeling that there was always someone or something watching you, and you had to run up those stairs to save your life. Because there are certain stairs where you don't necessarily feel it, and it's just kind of like your own freaked out because, you've watched horror movies or whatever. And her basement, for some reason, was just always terrifying. It was hard to sleep in because you were always feeling like somebody was watching you, and it was just all really creepy. I know everybody felt it. Even my friend who lived there felt that too. But yeah, there's more stories about her basement, and creepy things happening, seeing shadows and all that kind of stuff too. So her basement was definitely haunted. That is for sure. And then I found out that she lived right next to, there was water, like a water thing that went underneath. And then like her cellar, there was a reason, because she was like also like right next to a cemetery, so that explains a lot. She lived right next to the cemetery, like right next to it. So yeah, that explains why her basement always felt so but anyway, another story I have is when I think I was also 16 or 17 or 18. And I went with my mom to the Bellevue Biltmore hotels in Florida. It was my first time taking a flight, all that good stuff. And even the Ghost Adventures had done a section on the Bellevue Biltmore because it is known to be extremely haunted. Before we went there, we found out with some research that the place had been... I'm going to do a whole nother section on this. So return to part 2 because that one there's a lot more details and a lot more things that happened. So bear with me. I will do a part 2 and both will be posted one right after the other. I'm not making y'all wait.